this is the moment for all of us now. We have capabilities in our hands with these new tools in the early days of this new platform to absolutely do amazing things, where literally the challenge for you all is to go do some legendary shit that someone will be in awe of you for one day.
Last November, we got an upgrade, right? We went from the bicycle to the steam engine with the launch of ChatGPT. And in fact, every layer of the software stack is going to be changed forever. We're going to have 50+ announcements. But I want to highlight 5 of them. The first is we're bringing search grounding in Bing to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is the most fast-growing consumer app we've ever seen. And search grounding is a very key feature, right? So that all the information is current and grounded by what you have from the crawl and the index. Next, we're bringing the Copilot to the biggest canvas of all, Windows. This is going to make every user a power user of Windows. The other thing that we're also very excited to launch is the Copilot stack. We want to make that available so that everyone here can build their own Copilot for their applications. So to be able to show you everything in action, from both the plugin extensibility to all of the Copilots we announced, let me invite up on stage Yusuf Mehdi to come show you all of this. Yusuf, let me throw it over to you.
Thank you, Satya. Hi, everybody. We're making fast progress on delivering our vision of your Copilot for the web and for business. And today, as Satya said, we're excited to announce that we're going to bring ChatGPT and Bing together with the default search experience to give you higher quality answers and more timely answers. Let's take a look. Here I am in ChatGPT, and as you can see now, Bing is the default. And when I come in and select it, I can now ask sort of real-time queries. For example, let's ask what I should expect to hear about Build and .NET. And what you can see is the results now are more up-to-date. They include fresh content, and they include citations. In fact, if you can see the links on that page there, you can click those, and those will take you straight to a web page that's sourced by Bing. We're also excited to announce that we're going to bring interoperability between ChatGPT and Bing for plugins. So you write them once, and they're going to run everywhere. So as you can see here in ChatGPT, I've got Zillow and Instacart enabled, but I want to show them to you here in Bing Chat. So we'll flip over, and you can see again, I've got the same plugins now in both Bing Chat and in ChatGPT. And what we're going to show you now is I'll do a search here for houses in Chicago, and I can ask for a set of criteria, learn a little bit about the neighborhoods, and now I can automatically call Zillow by saying, hey, give me 3 houses in a certain price range that meet my criteria. And what you can see is now I get these great options, and I'm also going to get all of the other great things you get with Bing, like helpful city guides and maps and prompts. I'm going to tell you now how we're going to further add value to the plugins that you write. They're going to work not just in Chat and ChatGPT, they're going to work across the entire web, courtesy of the Edge browser. So here's an example. I'm on a web page here checking out a recipe for a cake, and now I can call Bing Chat and ask it to tell me, hey, give me the ingredients from this web page. And notice Bing can read the context of the web page, understand those ingredients, put them into Chat, and then I can say, hey, give me a shopping list for this. And it'll automatically call the Instacart plugin, take those ingredients right off the page and put them into an Instacart shopping, and with one click, I can get those now delivered to my house. This is incredible productivity benefit for people. As Satya shared, we're excited to announce the Windows Copilot. I think it's going to change how you use your PC forever. Let me show it to you. Here I am in a coding project on my PC, but I want to configure my PC to help me be more creative and more productive. All I have to do now is invoke the Windows Copilot. I now just come down here to the taskbar, I click on that, and now we'll pop up the Windows Copilot on the right. The side pane here will be consistent across every app that you use on your PC. And just like with Bing Chat, I can now ask it questions like, how can I adjust my system to get work done? And not only will I get a bunch of great suggestions, but watch this. I can now, with one click, take action on those suggestions. For example, I can put it into focus mode. I also know that as developers, we like dark mode. There's a suggestion here for dark mode. So with one click, I'm now here on the dark side. And to really get going, I want to get that coding playlist going. So I'll pull the plugin from Spotify and say, give me a great coding playlist. In this case, Chill Vibes will come up. And now I'll have it ready to go. And finally, there's a suggestion here that says, hey, to organize your PC, let's take advantage of Snap. So with one click, it snaps all the windows right in the place I need them so I can be super productive. What do you think? So as you can see, we have an incredible array of powerful AI-powered copilots. We've got over 50 plugins already available for customers and thousands more coming. I can't wait to see what you're all going to build. Thank you very much.
As Yusuf said, fantastic momentum already building. And this is about really creating that opportunity for developers to reach all users across all of these surface areas. And of course, all AI applications start with data. And we're really thrilled to be announcing Microsoft Fabric. It's perhaps the biggest launch of a data product from Microsoft since the launch of SQL Server. It unifies compute and storage. It unifies all of the full analytics stack product experiences. It brings together governance, so it unifies governance with analytics. And most interestingly, it unifies the business model, right, across all the different types of analytics workloads, whether they're SQL, machine learning, whatever job you want. And this unification at the end of the day is what I think will fuel the next generation of AI applications. Let's roll the video.
Introducing Microsoft Fabric, a unified data analytics platform. One product, one experience, one architecture, one business model. Unified data is stored in one lake, a SaaS data lake for the entire organization. Data is integrated and stored in an open format, allowing one copy to be used to train machine learning models, visualize data, and run SQL queries on the lake and data warehouse. A unified experience brings together all the tools data professionals need. Pipelines for orchestrating data movement, experiments for training machine learning models, semantic models for defining key metrics, and much more. And for business users, Fabric brings together data for collaborating and doing ad hoc analysis in Microsoft 365. Unified governance, security, and compliance is built in for all your data. And with Copilot from Microsoft Fabric, AI helps everyone be more productive. Whether it's writing SQL statements, building reports, or setting up automations based on triggers. All your data, all your teams, all in one place. This is Microsoft Fabric.
You know what the AI supercomputer did for the infrastructure layer? Microsoft Fabric will do to the data layer for this next generation of AI applications. Now, one of the things that I think we should ask ourselves as developers is, why do we build? Why do we build technology? This relationship between economic progress and economic growth in technology has been there for a long time. In fact, this graph, when you see it, it's pretty stunning that for most of human history, we didn't have much economic growth, nor did we have much technology. And then something happened 250 years ago, right, which was long in building, by the way, from perhaps the Enlightenment to scientific revolution to the Industrial Revolution was close to 400 years. But then there was real progress. You see that slope going upwards. And then, of course, over the last 70 years, information technology has played a role across all of those sort of seminal moments on the march towards that dream machine. And of course, we now enter the age of AI, and we get to define what that slope looks like going forward for economic growth. But it's not even just economic growth on its own, right? We don't build just because we want economic growth. We want economic growth so that we can have human development index growth. We want the lifespans to go up. We want education and prosperity and standard of living to go up everywhere. That's why we build. That's why we innovate. That's why technology exists. It's not for technology's sake, but it is for that broad impact.
It really is inspiring to see this technology getting diffused so quickly and having a real positive impact across the globe. I guess it goes without saying that a lot has changed in the world of technology over these past 4 years. There's an incredible amount of attention being paid right now to what's happening with the rapid progress with these AI models, these foundation models that we're calling them now, and in particular, like the rapid pace of innovation that's being driven by OpenAI in their partnership with Microsoft. So let's talk about copilots. We sort of think of ChatGPT as fitting this copilot pattern, Bing Chat certainly, GitHub Copilot, the Microsoft Security Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot, and Designer. So the thing that we noticed as we were building these copilots, starting with GitHub Copilot several years ago, is that the idea of a copilot is actually pretty general. So this notion that you're going to have a multi-turn conversational agent-like interface on your software that helps you do cognitively complex things applies to more than just helping someone do software development. Like we have search copilots now, we're going to have security copilots, we have productivity copilots, and we're going to have all of the copilots that you all build. And the thing that we noticed for us at Microsoft is that we needed to look at what is common across all of these things so that we can understand how to design great user experiences and what the technology stack is that is going to empower us to deliver these things safely, responsibly, cost-effectively at scale. So there are 3 boxes. You can think of these as roughly corresponding to the 3 tiers of a normal application. So you've got a front end, you've got a mid-tier, you've got a back end. The thing that's a little bit different in a Copilot is you're going to spend less time thinking about like what your user interface widgets are and like trying to second guess the user about what it is they want, because they have this really natural mechanism to express what it is they want, natural language. And so like what you have to think about in the design of these copilots is like what it is you want the copilot to actually be capable of. So like what are the things a model can't do that you need to augment with, for instance, with GitHub Copilot, like a bunch of the work that we did is to like keep the model on task, which is helping you solve your development problems. Like you're not trying to figure out what the best menu item is on Taco Bell when you're sitting in GitHub Copilot trying to write a piece of code. So now let's talk about orchestration. So orchestration is like the business logic of your Copilot. One of the things that we did that greatly affected our ability to get these Copilots out to market at scale and to do more ambitious things was to decide that inside of Microsoft, we are going to have one orchestration mechanism that we will use to help build our apps. So inside of the orchestration layer, the fundamental thing that you're going to be manipulating is a prompt. And a big part of handling those prompts at the beginning stages of orchestration is prompt and response filtering. So basically saying, I'm not going to allow these prompts through because maybe they will cause the model to respond in a way that doesn't meet the needs of your application or do something unsafe. And you also filter responses on the way back up. So after the model has produced a response to the prompt, like you may decide that you want to filter some or all of the prompt out. You also have this unit of prompt code called the meta prompt. And the meta prompt is the standing set of instructions that you give to your Copilot that get passed down to the model on every turn of conversation that tells it how to accommodate itself to the Copilot that you're trying to build. It's where a bunch of your safety tuning is going to happen. It's where you sort of tell the model like what personality you want it to have. So like for instance, we use the meta prompt to do things like telling Bing Chat to be more balanced versus more precise. It is also like how you sort of teach the model new capabilities. So like you can even think of meta prompt design as a form of fine tuning. This is the Copilot stack, top to bottom. And what I want to do now is make this maybe a little bit less abstract by talking about a Copilot that I wrote. So I host a podcast called Behind the Tech. And every month when the podcast airs, my team comes and bugs me to write a social media post to advertise the podcast. And I suck at this. Like I forget to read my emails, like they have to bug me over and over again. And we really want a Kevin social media Copilot so they don't have to go through the irritation of dealing with me. And so I had the honor recently of interviewing Neil deGrasse Tyson on the podcast. And so like, I'm just gonna walk you through this Copilot that we built that we actually just ran, and it did the social media post for the Neil deGrasse Tyson podcast that just went live. So here's what it looks like. So just end-to-end picture, like the Copilot runs on a Windows PC. It uses a mixture of open source models and hosted models. It like does retrieval augmented generation, and it calls a plugin to finish doing its work. So let's walk through these step by step. So the first step of this process is we have an audio file and we need a transcript. So on our Windows PC, we take the OpenAI open source Whisper model and run the audio through the model to get a transcript. It does a really amazing job. So once we have the transcript, like the next stage in the orchestration is we have the Databricks DALL-E 2.0 12 billion parameter large language model running on our Windows PC, and we ask it some things about the transcript, like for instance, who was the guest this episode? Like, because again, we want to do this like lights out, like not have to have Kevin answering a bunch of questions because he's slow and annoying. So the next thing we do once we have the transcript and we have all of this information that we've extracted from the transcript, like we want to send a chunk of that to the Bing API, or like we want to send Neil's name to the Bing API to get a bio. And then we're going to combine all of this stuff together into a single packet of information, like a big prompt that has some stuff about the transcript, some stuff about Neil, and we get our social media blurb. Like, this is a pretty good blurb, so we're gonna go to the next step here, which is like we need a thumbnail. So we call our hosted OpenAI API to get an image from the DALL-E model. This looks pretty good, it's cosmic, it's sort of podcasty, like plenty good enough for this post. And so the last step is we want to invoke a plugin for LinkedIn that will take the thumbnail and the post and the link to the podcast and just post it to my LinkedIn feed. One of the super important things about this is we are like, before we take an action on the user's behalf, we want to present to them like what it is that's going to happen. Because if for some reason or another the model went haywire and produced something that we didn't want to post, like once I hit yes, this is going to 800,000 people on LinkedIn. So we review, we click yes, and we post. So, and this is the live post that's like on LinkedIn right now. You should go check out this episode with Neil. It's awesome. And so this is the moment for all of us now. We have capabilities in our hands with these new tools in the early days of this new platform to absolutely do amazing things, where literally the challenge for you all is to go do some legendary shit that someone will be in awe of you for one day. And so with that, I would like to bring to stage my colleague, Executive Vice President of Cloud and AI, the legend himself, Scott Guthrie.
Well, good morning, everyone. AI is going to profoundly change how we work and how every organization operates. And every existing app is going to be reinvented with AI. And we're going to see new apps be built with AI that weren't possible before. And Kevin just walked us through the Copilot stack and explained the different layers involved in building solutions that take deep advantage of large AI models. I'm going to build on his talk and walk you through how we're going to make it easy to develop these AI solutions using Azure, GitHub, and Visual Studio. Now, as Kevin explained earlier, AI orchestration involves grounding, prompt design and engineering, evaluation, and AI safety. And these are kind of the core fundamentals for how you create great Copilot experiences. And the reason we've been able to move at this fast pace is because we built all of these Copilots on top of one platform, which is Azure AI. And this is the exact same platform that all of you can also leverage as you build your own Copilot and AI experiences as well. Azure AI includes several categories of AI capabilities, including our advanced Azure AI infrastructure. An Azure OpenAI service is our newest capability and became generally available in January of this year. The Azure OpenAI service enables developers and organizations to access and use the most advanced AI models in the world, including both ChatGPT and GPT-4. And all of these Microsoft Copilot experiences that you're seeing here at Build are built using these Azure OpenAI models. Now, what makes the Azure OpenAI service so powerful is that it enables you to ground and fine-tune the AI models with your data. And this enables you to get much more intelligent and tailored outputs from the AI models. And that's why more than 4,500 customers are already trusting and using the Azure OpenAI service today. It's the fastest growing service in Azure's history. But let's now dive deep onto our Azure AI infrastructure. We've invested heavily over many years now to make Azure the place to do cutting-edge AI innovation. Azure is very much now the world's AI supercomputer, and it's the infrastructure that's powering not just the ChatGPT experience, but all of the AI products and services coming from Microsoft. But it's also the AI supercomputer that was used to train the large foundation models that OpenAI produced. And to do this, we've built purpose-built AI infrastructure to deliver reliability and performance at scale. We built the largest AI model training system in the world, one with tens of thousands of interconnected GPUs and fast networking. The picture here is one of our new Nvidia Hopper-based GPU systems. Azure was the first cloud provider in the world to deploy and offer Hopper-based GPU systems to customers. And the picture here, you can see a lot of cables. These are InfiniBand cables, and they're really important for our GPU clusters, and it's one of the ways that we really differentiate ourselves from others. Neither AWS nor Google support InfiniBand today. And InfiniBand gives Azure the highest network bandwidth and lowest network latency of any cloud hyperscaler in the world today. That picture shows you what the servers are. Now let's switch gears now and take a look at what one of these data center facilities looks like. The picture on the top right, you can see one of our new data centers that we're building to add to our Azure cloud region in Dublin. And those little things are tractors and cars. So it gives you a sense of the scale. And that building is just one data center that we're commissioning and adding into that region. And to give you a sense of the scale that Azure is now operating at, we'll now bring live more than 120 data centers this calendar year alone. That's one new data center every 3 days. And most of these data centers, like this one, are ones that we're designing and building ourselves. And multiple data centers then make up what we call an Azure region that you can deploy across. Now, our Azure region in Dublin is made up of many data centers like this one. And it's, in total size, it's already over 1.5 miles long and half a mile wide. And already has 2 million square feet of data center floor space that's already live that you can deploy your workloads in today. And to put 2 million square feet in perspective, that's the equivalent of 35 football stadiums in size, all just in one region inside Dublin. And Dublin is less than 3% of our total data center footprint around the world today. We now have more than 60 Azure regions live. Dublin is just one of those dots there on the map. It's more regions and in more countries than any other cloud provider. And we're bringing all of this scale and all this power to you so that you can build amazing solutions on top of it. Now, the Azure AI infrastructure is being used for many different AI models and scenarios. We're talking at this conference and today a lot about the great work we're doing with OpenAI and LLMs on Azure, but we're also using this exact same infrastructure for many other AI models and experiences as well. And another unique AI partnership we have is with Nvidia. Nvidia is bringing its AI software to Azure by integrating Nvidia's AI enterprise with Azure AI. Organizations are going to be able to have a secure, enterprise-ready platform to quickly build and deploy custom machine learning models. And Nvidia's Omniverse cloud provides a full stack environment to design, develop, deploy, and manage industrial metaverse applications. And this gives enterprises access to the full stack suite of Omniverse software applications and Nvidia OVX infrastructure to scale and combine it with the scale and security of Azure. Azure is the only cloud provider offering Omniverse cloud today. And with Omniverse Cloud on Azure, organizations like BMW are now able to build truly virtual factories. The BMW team can aggregate data into massive high-performance models, connect their domain-specific software tools, and enable multi-user live collaboration across factory locations. They can run real-time digital twin simulations, virtually optimizing layouts, robotics, and logistics systems, even years before a factory opens. And it's all possible from any location and on any device. Now, data, all the AI innovation that we've seen today is built on top of a foundation of data. Data is really the fuel that powers AI. And AI is only as good as your data. And so it's never been more important to have a great data analytics and data management foundation in place. And this week at Build, we're excited to announce Microsoft Fabric, a unified platform for data analytics really designed for the era of AI. With Microsoft Fabric, we're bringing together Power BI, Data Factory, and the next generation of Synapse. And Fabric unifies all these analytics tools at every layer into one seamless product, providing a single source of truth for everyone in the organization and a single way to secure it, and a unified business model to help ensure that all your resources are used in the most cost-effective way. And this complete platform really delivers data analytics as a software as a service model, just like Microsoft 365, making it much easier to stand up and manage, with frictionless onboarding, automatic optimization and integration, built-in security, governance, and compliance. It's lake-centric and has an open data architecture, and it has deep integration with Microsoft 365. And what's great is it's designed in particular for the era of AI with built-in Copilot support. And this Copilot support enables you to use AI to understand and reason over data in extraordinary new ways. And what I'll do is show a video of some of these new capabilities in action.
Let's take a look at how Copilot in Power BI is empowering everyone to quickly find and share insights. With Copilot in Power BI, I can simply describe the report I want to build and get insights in seconds. Maybe we need a breakdown of some of our employee data to understand demographics and hiring trends. I just describe what I need, and Copilot will automatically analyze my data and create a new report based on my needs. Immediately, I have a beautiful Power BI report that has been automatically created and is fully interactive. I can start slicing and dicing my data to explore deeper. Copilot added the charts and slicers I asked for, but also conveniently gives me options to adjust the output to get just what I need. For example, let's switch to ask for metrics and trends in a slightly different layout. Automatically, Copilot updates the report. Let's go ahead and keep this report page. It goes much further. I can also ask questions such as, why is our attrition rate going up? Copilot responds by adding a new page to my report and tapping into Power BI's built-in advanced analysis capabilities for finding key influencers for variables in my data. In addition to giving me a summary of an insight about different employee types having different attrition rates, I can easily explore Power BI's key influencer visual to see what's driving the biggest impact in our attrition rate. I can even automatically see the most significant segments in my data just by clicking. Now let's go back to the first page and finish up our new report. I'm going to ask Copilot to make it look like our existing exec dashboard, and instantly it's applied the same formatting and style and adjusted the layout to match. Best of all, I can still interact directly with the Power BI report that Copilot has created. So for example, if I wanted to manually change this bar chart to a tree map on my own, it's easy to do with just a few clicks. Let's add employee functional area, and now I can filter by this new field. Finally, to make the report even easier for my team to understand, I'm going to ask Copilot to add a rich text description of my data right inside the report. This narrative summary is fully dynamic, and not only does Copilot highlight interesting insights from my data, it will update the summary every time the data is refreshed or people filter the report. And just like that, in seconds, I've created a report that would have taken hours or days to do manually. Copilot, built on top of Azure OpenAI, is truly revolutionary for how we empower everyone to find and share insights.
And what you saw there is how we're able to organize data in Microsoft Fabric and in turn enable this amazing natural language experience in Power BI on top of it. Microsoft Fabric is designed for the era of AI, and its serverless data management engine is tuned for advanced AI scenarios like that. And with Microsoft Fabric, we have a deep commitment as well to open formats and APIs. Fabric comes with a SaaS multi-cloud data lake, which we call OneLake, that's built in and automatically available to every Microsoft tenant. OneLake is built on open formats, including Delta and Parquet, meaning it's compatible with solutions like Databricks and other open source tools. And since we know that many customers want to build AI solutions using data that might already be stored in other clouds, we've also built Microsoft Fabric to work across clouds, including AWS and in the future Google. And I'm incredibly pleased to announce that Microsoft Fabric is now available in public preview for everyone to use. So we have an exciting future ahead of us. Azure and the Microsoft Cloud, is the place for every developer and every organization on the planet to be able to innovate using AI. We're really looking forward to building some great AI solutions with you together, and I hope you have a great rest of the build and a great rest of the day. Thank you very much.